Welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about just how terrifying it was to guard Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. So terrifying that Kevin Johnson literally went to a church to pray before taking the assignment. The year is 1993, Bulls versus Suns. Charles Barkley is in his MVP season, Phoenix is rolling, and yet there's one massive problem standing in the way of a championship: Michael Jordan at the peak of his powers. At that point, guarding MJ wasn't just a matchup, it felt like a sentence. Early in the series, the Suns had Dan Marjolie taking the main defensive role on Jordan. He was being hyped as a Jordan stopper. But MJ, he didn't buy that for a second. In games 1 and 2, Jordan dropped 73 combined points. Bulls up 2-0. Message sent. Phoenix's coaching staff knew something had to change. So they turned to Kevin Johnson. And KJ said when he found out, he couldn't even process it. He thought it had to be a dream. The pressure was so heavy that he actually walked into a church, sat in the front row, and basically had a full-on moment of panic and prayer. That's how real the fear of guarding Jordan was. Before Game 3, at the jump ball, Johnson told MJ he'd be guarding him. Jordan's reaction? Just a confused, casual, huh? Like it didn't even register as a challenge. That's the aura MJ had. No drama, just dominance. But here's the twist. Game 3 became an all-time classic, triple overtime. Jordan still went for 44, because of course he did, but Kevin Johnson didn't fold. On offense, he showed up big too. 25 points, attacking, competing, not backing down. And Phoenix actually won that game. The Suns would go on to win 2 of 3 games in Chicago, which is crazy considering how hard it was to beat the Bulls there. But in the end, Jordan and the Bulls closed it out in Game 6, sealing their 3rd straight championship. Barkley's title dream? Gone. Even years later, KJ talks about it with pride. He joked, "Take that, Mike," because Jordan's scoring average with him guarding was lower than when Marjolie had the assignment. That might be a small victory, but when you're dealing with peak Michael Jordan, you take what you can get. Conclusion: this story shows the psychological weight MJ carried. Players weren't just preparing physically, they were mentally and spiritually bracing themselves. Kevin Johnson didn't stop Jordan, nobody really did, but he competed, didn't run from the moment, and proved that even in the shadow of greatness, heart still matters.